Let me start with an interesting story today. It happened a few years back when I was working for a corporate and I was traveling with my boss in a faraway place, and we were supposed to come back to the base. And when we reached the airport, we realized that a flight was cancelled and we were put in a hotel. In fact, a top class luxury hotel. And if I remember correctly, probably a 7-star hotel. And we were very happy, definitely. And next day when we reached the airport to come back, and we realized that our flight again got delayed. And we were supposed to catch a connecting flight. So we boarded a flight, and during the whole it was about a 2 hours flight, and during the whole flight duration, my boss was after the air hostess and a captain to find out from the ground what is the status of the connecting flight. And when we landed, we found that the connecting flight was also delayed, and we could catch the flight. And when we boarded the flight, my boss told me, looking at me, you know what happened? I feel my day is wasted today because if I don't fight with someone on a particular day, I feel that I have wasted my day. And I think he's the example of a very typical toxic boss. And unfortunately, in our life, in our career, each one of us, we have to work with one or a few toxic bosses. According to a Harvard study, there are 7 types of toxic bosses: incompetent, insular, intemperate, callous, corrupt, rigid, and last is evil. And why should one not work with a toxic boss for a longer time? Let me quote a few statistics here. First, according to a study, 78% of the people who work with the toxic boss, they lose interest in the organization, and 66% of the people, their performance declines. But the biggest problem is with the health. If you work with a toxic boss for a longer time, then it impacts the health. The people suffer from anxiety, stress, and lower immune system, which can ultimately lead to the heart attack. And it says, another study says that it takes about 22 months, up to 22 months, to get rid or to relieve of the trauma being inflicted by a toxic boss. So here in this video, I'm going to discuss certain ways that you can deal with a toxic boss, because it is said that you can't select your boss, so you need to find out a way, and that's what I'm going to discuss in this video. First, clarify expected outcomes. Many times, misunderstanding with boss occurs due to not clarifying the expectations. When a task is assigned to you, please make sure that the expected outcomes are clarified and agreed, along with a timeline to deliver. I always used to clarify the discussion with my bosses by summing up my understanding and asking a question. Hope I have understood it right. Number 2, be specific about your need and ask for it. Be specific about the support you need to deliver. It may be resources or any other support. Explain your rationale without getting agitated. And importantly, approach your boss at a time when he is in an upbeat mood. Number 3, create dependability. Whether one likes or not, this is the rule of the corporate game. As stated in a book, Credit and Blame at Work, many are successful in corporate not because of their leadership talent, but because of their uncanny ability to take credit of others' work and blame others for their mistakes. Make your boss look good and work towards making yourself indispensable to him. Number 4, create your support network. Working with a toxic boss is always draining. Create a support network of your well-wishers who you can lean on and who can guide you. And most importantly, who you can vent out your stress and emotions. Next one, consult with HR. My experience says this does not work most of the time, but keep HR updated, keeping future needs in perspective. Number 6, know the vibes when to move on. This, in fact, should be ideally avoidable and should be the last resort. If you are drained out, even thinking of your work, there is a physical and mental trauma. In these situations, one should definitely take the call. Number 7, get into a fitness regime. Engage in activities beyond work that gives you joy and sense of accomplishments. Pick up a hobby and join in a fitness program which will help you deal with the situation better. I have always seen working out in the morning will help you to take care of that unnecessary adrenaline rush that arises from thinking of what might happen during the day. That's all about how you can deal with a toxic boss. I have compiled this based on my research, my experience, as well as my interaction with many successful leaders. I hope you can utilize this to progress in your career. And I'd also like to hear what is your idea of dealing with a toxic boss. And I wish you all the success.